Access to Democracy is made possible by donations from the following organizations. Thomson Reuters, a global company with expertise and insight to unravel complex situations in the areas of law, tax, compliance, government, and media. Their worldwide network of journalists and editors keep customers up to speed on relevant global events. Thomson Reuters, The Answer Company. Crutchfield Dermatology, a full-service treatment center and Medi-Spa in Eagan. Their goal is to help you look good and feel great with beautiful skin. With service built around courtesy, dignity, and respect, Mayo-trained Dr. Charles Crutchfield personally treats each patient and is acknowledged as one of the nation's best physicians. The Minnesota Twins are looking forward to another great season in 2023, led by the return of All-Stars Carlos Correa and Brian Buxton. With the return of numerous players who were injured in 2022 and some new acquisitions, another division crown and a return to the World Series are in their sights. Established in 2007, 45th Parallel Spirits was among the first 50 micro-distilleries in the United States. Based in New Richmond, Wisconsin, all aspects of production occur at our facility. If you're interested in visiting and learning more about the 45th Parallel Distillery, please check our website and plan a visit to tour our facility and taste our spirits. Truestone Financial, with locations in Minnesota and Wisconsin, has proudly served its members since 1939. Truestone engages, educates, and supports its members to ensure they have the tools to empower their financial well-being. Truestone Financial, your neighborhood credit union. Learn more at truestone.org.
Welcome once again to Access to Democracy. Alan Miller with you, and we have a first-time guest today. Very interesting gentleman who is going to teach us a little bit about martial arts. And welcome, Paul Sisk.
Thank you for having me, Alan.
Paul is the proprietor of, or maybe I should say the sensei, of KickStart Martial Arts, which is here in Eagan, soon to celebrate its 10th anniversary. And it's really a unique operation, not only for children starting from age 2, actually, but from up to geriatric adults like myself. Now, you started Taekwondo at age 9. Tell us the background of that.
Well, I have 2 Korean cousins. My aunt married my uncle, and they lived in Indiana, and they got into Taekwondo part for their heritage and part for recreation and exercise. And at that time, my aunt called my mom and said, maybe you want to enroll the boys, me and my brother, in a program like this because it's pretty interesting. So that was our start in the world of Taekwondo, and that was the beginning of the journey. I started under Master H.Y. right here in Eagan back in 1984.
But your arts have taken you away from Eagan until you return here in 2013. So take us along that journey.
It was kind of a windy journey, a unique journey for us. In 1997, we ended up moving to California. We lived in a town called Lompoc, which is by the Vandenberg Air Force Base. We eventually moved to the town of Santa Maria, where we opened up our own Taekwondo club under the American Taekwondo Association. We did that, the YMCA. The YMCA was where we started, and we started a little club authorized by the American Taekwondo Association.
And you yourself in Taekwondo are what, a 5th degree black belt?
I'm a 5th degree black belt in the American Taekwondo Association. And in 2009, I decided to leave that organization, and we ended up partnering up with my originating instructor through the ATA, Master David Youngman, who currently resides in Newmarket here in Minnesota. And him and I co-founded the Armored Warrior Martial Arts System, and we have his school and our school are partner schools, where we developed a curriculum that incorporates Taekwondo and some of the other arts into a traditional system, and we did that in 2015.
Some of the other arts, for instance?
When we were in California, I was able to work with a mentor of mine named Gilbert Harper. He studied Aikido, and he taught us Aikido in his center. We also studied under my friend Christopher Ruiz, who started under Paulo Fernando's San Diego, California, in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so we did a year of that, trying to just round out our art systems. And in 2005, I met Mike Lee Kanarek, who I continually train with right now, currently. He's the one I'm most active with as far as training in the art of a Haganah. And he incorporates other arts as well, but the self-defense.
Training is never finished. Is that what you're telling me?
Yes, it's never finished.
So do you train individually in each of these disciplines? How do you do that?
Well, sometimes you have to focus your energy, and by being an owner and trying to help my students the best that I can and be a good dad to my boys, trying to create that balance is big. And for a while, some of my training did fall off just because of life circumstances. But I did re-pick up my current training with Mike Lee Kanarek out in South Florida. And I've been training with him since 2020, I believe, 21 maybe. But I've been the last 2 years.
And
really.
what's his discipline?
His discipline is, he is the founder of the Haganah system. He started that system in 1996 and has trained military units, civilian like myself. And I certified in the FIGHT program, which is his base program for self-defense. And he certified a lot of us civilian and military instructors. And very much fell in love.
You're a certified instructor in the Haganah F.I.G.H.T system.
Correct.
Which is similar, I take it, to Krav Maga that the Israeli army uses. And we know one of the instructors who's now a painter, but he still does Krav Maga, but he was instructing the Israeli army in that discipline. Now, how is that discipline different from some of the others?
Like I said, I never studied in the actual art of Krav Maga. I get the interpretation of Krav Maga through my instructor, Mike Kanarek. I know his background is in Krav Maga, as well as he was in the IDF himself. I'm not going to go into all of his background. Don't want to misspeak on anything, but he's very current with up-to-date training. And he always says Haganah is the evolution of Krav Maga, meaning he tests out different scenarios, different theories, and continues to enhance. And basically that's why I continue to train.
Do I understand that it's simultaneously both defense and attack?
Yes. My instructor says in the Haganah system, 50% of his mental toughness. You have to have a mindset. You can have all the techniques in the world, but if you don't have the mindset to protect yourself, your techniques will fail you. So having that mindset.
So you have to develop the mindset for physical aggression.
Yes, sir.
Beyond just, and that really teaches you to strike an opponent just about any place, using your hands, your feet, or whatever else.
Because in most arts that we started, like I started, my base art is Taekwondo, lots of kicking and punching, sport-oriented. With self-defense, there is no rules. You can, any eye gouging, headbutts, any weapon that you have is available to you, because there are no rules when it comes to protecting yourself for the street. And that's why understanding tactics, logistics, situations, all those things play huge roles in kind of the outcome of how you're going to use your techniques, your weapons, and environment is a big part of that as well, what kind of environment you're in.
Well, I hope we have time, and as the interview progresses, that you can show us some of these techniques or some of these different punches, perhaps. But now you mentioned your boys.
Yes.
So obviously you're married.
Yes, sir.
And let's talk about that, because I know something about Kelli, your wife.
She's amazing. Without her, my studio doesn't work. And I'm very blessed to have her and my boys and all the family members that attend our studio. It's a true blessing.
She's also a fourth degree black belt in Taekwondo.
Yes.
Yeah. How old are your boys?
My oldest boy is 15, and my youngest boy is 12.
And are they now studying the disciplines also?
Yeah, they are studying. In fact, they're both coming up on big-time rank testings in March. My oldest boy is going, after he turns 16, for his 3rd degree black belt, and my younger boy is going for his 2nd degree black belt. So they should be testing at the same time if they stay on track as far as having all their techniques and having everything ready to go by that point in time.
And you have a lot of students who have gone on, as they have grown up, younger ones gone on to college and beyond, and some who have acquired not only the techniques, but they have also, I guess, accomplished some awards.
Yes.
Talk about that.
I've had, I'm just picking names out of a hat right now. Rafael Villamizar was a weapons champ in the ATA, Bung Mungi stick training. And so I'm picking his name out because I can think of exactly what he did. I've also had David Jones, who trained with me in the fight curriculum out in California, was an Army Ranger. I think about him often. He did a lot of training with him. So many students, and they've given to me as much, even more so than sometimes I think I give them, because of the experiences we share on the mat together. One thing I learned about martial arts is it's a true brotherhood and sisterhood when you get on the mat. It's humbling to be together, and I feel very blessed that I've had the numerous students that I've had, and my boys being part of that as well, and my wife as well. I love having the family feel to what we do. Because
I stopped in one Saturday morning, and you had at least a dozen students who were, and a lot of parents were there watching, but they ranged in age, I would guess, from 8 or 9 to maybe 15. What happens on a Saturday morning?
Well, every 2 to 3 months we do a 3-hour seminar that we host on a Saturday. Most of our classes during the evening are an hour long or a half-hour long, depending on the class. But those 3-hour blocks of seminars gives us more time to get quality training in.
Is this Taekwondo?
I kind of blend it between our traditional Taekwondo, our Haganah self-defense, and some kickboxing techniques. So I break the seminars up into 3 different parts, and I try to focus on one area specifically in each.
Like an hour on each? Or?
Yes, sir.
And now talk about BJJ. What is that? Because I know it's a discipline that you mentioned. And
yes, we got Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. People compete in it like Taekwondo, karate, kickboxing. Myself, personally, in my experience, I did it for recreation with a good friend of mine who is also teaching Jiu-Jitsu in my California school. I believe he is a black belt by now in BJJ. I did it more for recreation and just to improve my skills on the ground, being primarily a Taekwondo stand-up sort of martial artist. And with the mixed martial arts and the evolution of martial arts in general, you need to improve your skills in each area. I do have currently wrestlers in my school, and they say, doing Haganah training, they're like, some of that stuff is helping out just physics and leverage points and things like that. So it's always good to see people improve in any area of their life and really see the confidence elevate in them.
Well, you competed also in some of these disciplines, is that correct?
I competed in point sparring Taekwondo. So basically it was not full contact, more speed oriented, but I did receive 5th place in the ATA tournament circuit when I was a 3rd degree black belt. I finished in the top 5 for the nation in that year. I continued to compete here in the state of Minnesota with the ATA. In 2003 and 4, I got state championship in sparring. Again, point-oriented sparring. And every tournament format has different rule sets and how they go about, how they award points and different things, rules and all that.
Now, are there a lot of martial arts training centers in the state of Minnesota?
Absolutely. It has grown. There's schools that have been ATA schools, National Karate schools, USA Karate schools, all coming from different lineages. And I see some of the crossover of different lines of the family of martial arts. My current instructor, Mike Kanarick, out in Florida, trained with Joe Lewis, kickboxing, and got a 6th-degree black belt in that system. And then we had the Worley brothers here with, I believe, USA Karate, National Karate. So you see a blending of people coming together between seminars, conferences, and it kind of shows the unity of what martial arts can bring, and just different perspectives on how people teach it and how people receive it, and how instructors improve over the years by learning for other people in different styles of teaching.
Now, how do you train with somebody in Florida?
Lots of flying. But I go down to his main school, Mike Kanarick, and I try to get out there at least 3 times a year. The training is really good for me personally, and I know that energy feeds my students. I know as you age, you have to train a little bit different, but you make those adjustments, and then hopefully you can take those skills and pass them on to your future leaders in the martial arts world, so that they can not only just do it with the martial arts intent of kicks and punches, but they have the leadership skills that when they go to college, they're leaders of their clubs, their programs, that they just have the ability to enlighten and elevate people around them. And
now, I know your program, KickStart, has been picked as the top martial arts organization in this area for a number of years now. Was that correct?
Yes, sir.
And how many?
Actually, my wife would keep a better count of how many awards we have. I know we've won it at least 3 times, maybe more. I think awards come when you do your best to keep the people in front of you in the forefront of your mind when you're on that mat, and I think awards will come, and it's kind of like earning a title. If I just keep training hard, those things happen on their own through hard work and determination. And
what about your students have won awards? Any that you want to talk about?
I got Macy Jordheim. She's a 2nd-degree black belt of mine. She's moved on to college. She got academics awards at Black Hawk Middle School. She's a straight A student, one of my best martial arts students. Very natural, gifted student, but very humble young lady and hard worker. And I had a chance to go see her get that award back many years ago. But she's one that
she's
stands
in
out.
college now?
She's at, I believe, the University of Minnesota now.
And she's still practicing the martial arts?
She isn't. She's kind of fallen out with things that have gone on. But I also look at the point in life that they're at those ages, and I'm just happy that they get to live the dreams that they live, and it's exciting.
You have an incredible Facebook exposure. People go on there and they will be dumbfounded by the number of students that you have had, that you have, adults as well, pictures, competitions, etc. So you literally had hundreds and hundreds of students since you're here in Eagan. Is that a fair statement?
That'd be a fair statement, that we've had at least hundreds of students.
And you have regular classes?
We do, sir.
When?
We have an after-school program that we run. I'm blessed right now as I get to sit here, as I've got my partner, Karen. She's out be picking up kids while I'm here. And we run a martial art program that goes along with an after-school program, so they're able to get their homework done, have some free time, snack time, and then also get training time in. So we do that. That's 5 days a week we run that program. And then in the evening classes, we start up at 5:45 after the after-school program is finished. And we have anywhere from our Cubs classes, our preschooler classes, to our juniors.
Let's talk about preschoolers.
Yes.
Ages what?
It used to be 2. Now we take at age 4. And it goes 4 to 6. And my wife, Kelli, teaches that class. She's also a director of the neighboring business to us, day-by-day daycare. So she's got a teaching degree, and she's very good with that age group. I've coached that age group as well. She's very natural as a preschool teacher, so she does really well. Our assistant Karen, she helps out with that. Proud of her too. She's been with us 7 years. She's like family. She is family. Wonderful, wonderful lady.
And how many instructors do you have?
Right now, I've got black belts assistants. I wouldn't count them as lead instructors. Karen, myself, and my wife, the three of us are the lead instructors.
And Karen, what's her discipline and what's her?
She does our Taekwondo, our Armored Warrior system that was co-founded by Master Dave Youngman and myself. And she's been studying for 7 years.
Is she a black belt?
She's a second-degree black belt. And both her kids went through our program. They got their black belts, and yeah.
Well, let's talk about that, because you move up in the colors of belts. I know there's yellow belts, and there's white belts, and there's green belts, etc. Talk about that.
Every system has a different, or every discipline has a different rank structure.
Let's say Taekwondo.
Taekwondo, and even with the different systems of Taekwondo, there's still different ranking. But pretty much, the lighter your belt is, the lower rank you are, the darker it gets, the higher the rank. Because back in the old ancient days of training was dirt floors, not mats and carpet and things that we have now. Not all that. And the way you got to be a black belt was you were white, and as soon as that dirt hit it, and you trained for years and years, the darker it got, it turned into a black belt, and that was kind of the idea then. Now, with kids and giving them achievements and having short-term goals to match the long-term goals, we have all these different belt colors, and they represent different curriculum for each level, different drills that they have to perform, skills they have to perform for each level. And we have our belt testings are about approximately 2 to 3 months apart when we hold a belt testing. And
then you move from one belt, if you're successful, to another belt.
Correct.
Which requires not only your classes once a week, but probably training at home and practice at home.
Yes, that's always encouraged. It's always stressed, is that you continue to sharpen your skills. And we got a little saying that I take from Mike Lee Kanarick, is iron sharpens iron, and you train with good people with good intentions, and they train hard but with control, always taking care of each other. You know, we don't want to hurt each other, but we want to improve each other's skills. And so the only way to do it is to continue to work, continue to push, and continue to train.
So I know you have a schedule. Monday, I have it in front of me, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday. So you have your after school and you have your evening classes.
Yes, sir.
And your Haganah class is only on Monday evenings, right?
Correct.
What about Friday and Saturday?
Fridays are open for private lessons or for those seminars that we run and any special events. And same with Saturdays. We kind of open that up for private lessons and seminars.
Now, I should mention that your phone number, where they can call and inquire and get information, 651-688-0558, and that's to the martial arts.
To our center.
Yeah, center. And I know we have 5 minutes left, so we're going to have time for a little bit of demonstration. I also found out that you run a summer camp, or camps.
Camps.
And talk about that.
This will be our 3rd year of doing these camps. We try to get them, at least it's a Monday through Thursday camp, all day long, from 8 to 5 o'clock. And basically we do martial arts training. We get them to the parks, outside. I even take the kids fishing. I'll just get them out of just martial arts, but into nature, have a genuine experience, not just on the mat, but outside it. And the kids seem to enjoy it. We get to the lakes and have fun, and it's a real good experience, bonding experience too for students to do more than just the training itself.
And then the average class is how many students?
It can range from anywhere from 3, 4 to our biggest class is 18, 19,
Really?
depending on the day, depending on scheduling and working around sports schedules as well and things. So
it's a full week with a lot of training, and I think we probably have time now if you want to get up and we can show some demonstrations. And hopefully the camera can pick this up. Let's talk about Krav Maga, or the Israeli Haganah fight. Show us a typical stance.
Well, in our class, after we do a warm-up, we'll do a series of front hand techniques and rear hand techniques as part of the warm-up. And we've stressed the fundamentals of getting in a good stance, so about shoulder distance apart, always picking up your back heel, so that when your hands are up, elbows are always in, you're going to step in and then throw a jab punch. When you throw a punch, you want to rotate the wrist, opposite hand stays up. And as you do that, you're stepping in, because we never want to just throw a punch without a step. The step is to occupy space, and that gives you more reach on the punch.
So it requires some coordination to throw the punch, step at the same time.
Actually, you step before you punch to able to maximize your power.
Keep your balance on that
Absolutely.
rear leg.
So next one would be a fingertip thrust to the eyes. Same type of movement. You step in, fingers go out, and that would go as a distraction towards their eyes to get them to move back. So it's still the same footwork here. It's step in and throw those fingertips towards the eyes, always keeping the back hand up. You never want to drop your guard. Always keeping protected as you're striking. Next one, and same position, still a front hand technique. I'm going to step in and I'm going to throw a wedge strike, which is this V of your hand. That'd be a throat strike. And again, I'm going to step in, throw the wedge, keeping the opposite hand up. And again, these are just some of our basics.
Now, somebody is choking you, and you have the opportunity with one hand, you're fighting them off, but with the other hand, you want to hit them in the face or the nose. Show us what you would do.
Well, if somebody's choking you, you actually want to hang on to the choke, you don't want to strip their hands free. You basically want to, and it depends on the type of choke. If it's just a static choke where they're just choking you, not moving you anywhere, I'm going to cut my hands and I'm going to unplug the choke. And as I do that, I'm going to knee strike and lean back at the same time. So unplug the choke.
So we have the legs in motion also.
Yes. And then what you want to do is, what we're taught is to contain. We never have complete control, but we want to contain the opponent. So if I strip them free in a self-defense situation, they're going to still have weapons to throw at you, which makes it more of a violent situation from there. So any way we can contain it, and with a partner, I could be able to demonstrate a little bit further, but you want to actually kind of trap or clinch and take some temporary control of the situation rather than them having all their weapons at their disposal.
And having a partner is an important part of training.
It is. In fact, our Monday night Haganah classes or our seminars we run, we do a lot of partner hands-on training, because that's the best way. People different sizes, heights, weights, because you never get to pick your attacker. You just have to deal with what's in front of you. And the more partners you can rotate through that have different length, different type of mobility, all those things give you a better opportunity in a real life situation to take care of yourself, because your experiences working with others will kind of lead you there. If you have no experiences, you're going to be kind of like a fish out of water. You might have a little panic mode because you haven't had the repetitions. So we always stress, like we said earlier, about the repetitions.
And we've been talking with Paul Sisk, and the proprietor of KickStart Martial Arts in Eagan.
Yes, sir.
Paul, thank you very much.
Alan, thank you for having me.
It's been a pleasure. You've been watching, and watch again. Access to Democracy. Paul, thank you.
Thank you very much, Alan. Appreciate you.